If someone told me a year ago that I'd end up marrying my brother's ex-wife out of revenge, I would have laughed so hard I'd choke on my tea. But here we are. I'm living proof that karma doesn't always take its time. Sometimes it just needs a little push and a wedding ring. Now, before you start judging me, let's rewind. I'm not the villain in this story. I'm just the poor guy who thought marriage meant teamwork, not tag team betrayal. My name's Daniel, and I used to believe in love. You know, the kind of love that makes you forget your passwords and remember anniversaries. I met my wife Clara in college. She was smart, sarcastic, and had that kind of smile that could melt steel, or at least make you do her laundry without realizing. I fell fast. She fell smart. We got married young, and for a while it was perfect. Movie nights, burnt dinners, matching pajamas, the whole happy package. Then came my brother Tom. Ah yes, Tom. The family's golden boy. The kind of guy who could spill coffee on his boss and still get promoted. My mom used to call him a born winner. I used to call him an unpaid therapist with an ego problem. But we were close, or so I thought. He started coming around the house more often, said he missed family time. I thought it was sweet. Clara thought it was nice of him to help with the garden. I should have known when the man who couldn't keep a cactus alive suddenly became interested in tulips. At first it was small things. An inside joke I wasn't part of, a text she'd hide, a laugh that lasted a bit too long. Then one day Tom called me brother with that smug little smirk that suddenly made the word sound like an insult. A month later, I walked into our living room and found an envelope on the table. Inside was a note that said, "I'm sorry, Daniel. I didn't mean for this to happen." And then below it, Clara. The note was so short it felt like a text message written by guilt itself. No long explanations, no dramatic tears, just gone. She ran off with my brother. The two people I trusted most apparently decided to start a new family tree. Without me. Now I'd like to tell you I handled it with grace, that I meditated, forgave, and moved on. But no, I did what any self-respecting man in heartbreak would do. I bought a punching bag, joined a gym for 3 days, and then spent the next month eating takeout and scrolling through old photos like a ghost haunting his own past. Then came the news that made me spit my drink across the room. My mother called, voice trembling with excitement. "Danny, did you hear? Tom's getting married." "To Clara?" I asked, already knowing the answer. "Of course, to Clara." Isn't love funny? Yeah, hilarious. A real comedy special. They had a small wedding. Intimate, as the photos suggested. And yes, I saw those photos. Clara in a white dress, Tom looking like a discount Prince Charming, and my family standing around, smiling like betrayal, was the new family tradition. But here's where the story takes a turn. 3 months later, while I was pretending to enjoy single life and failing miserably, I got a message on social media. It was from Lisa. Now Lisa was Tom's ex-wife, the one he dumped 2 years before running off with mine. She was beautiful, sharp-tongued, and according to Tom, too much to handle, which in Tom language meant a woman with a backbone. Her message was simple. Heard about what happened. "I think we need to talk." I hesitated. "I mean, how do you reply to your brother's ex after he stole your wife?" "Hi, we're both emotionally bankrupt. Want to get coffee?" But curiosity won. We met at a small cafe, the kind with mismatched chairs and judgmental waiters. And when Lisa walked in, I swear even the air stood still. She looked confident, like someone who had already been through hell, taken photos and written a 5-star review on the way out. She sat down, sipped her coffee, and said, "So your wife ran off with my ex-husband." Guess we're family now, I laughed for the first time in months. Not the sad, sarcastic kind, a real laugh. And that's how it started. Two broken people with matching heartbreaks, meeting over caffeine and bitterness. We talked for hours. She told me how Tom had treated her like a trophy that started collecting dust. I told her how Clara turned my marriage into a group project without telling me. Somewhere between the shared trauma and bad jokes, something clicked. Now, I'm not saying it was love at first sight. It was more like mutual amusement at life's twisted sense of humor. But slowly, coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into late-night calls. And before I knew it, We were healing together. Then came the moment that changed everything. A few months later, Tom and Clara invited the family for dinner. Apparently, they wanted to make peace. My mom practically begged me to go. It's time to move on, Danny. Be the bigger person. So I went. Not because I wanted peace, but because I wanted closure. Or maybe a little chaos. When I walked into their house, it felt like stepping onto a movie set where everyone was pretending to be happy. Clara looked awkward. Tom looked smug, and I looked like the ghost of Christmas karma. Dinner was a circus. Tom bragged about his job. Clara kept glancing at me like she'd seen a ghost that remembered her Netflix password. Then Tom, in his classic overconfident tone, said, "You know, Danny, sometimes life has funny ways of bringing people together. I guess Clara and I were just meant to be." I smiled. "Yeah, life's funny like that." Speaking of which, I've been seeing someone. Clara's fork froze midair. Tom leaned forward, curiosity all over his face. "Oh yeah? Who's the lucky lady?" That was the moment. The moment revenge went from theory to poetry. I took a deep breath, leaned back and said, "You remember Lisa?" You could have heard the sound of a heart breaking twice in one room. Clara's jaw dropped. Tom's face drained faster than a phone battery at 1%. My mom gasped. And me? I just smiled. Lisa walked in right then, perfectly timed, looking radiant and calm. She waved politely. "Hi, everyone. I hope there's dessert." It was cinematic. My brother's expression alone could have won an Oscar for best realization that karma has perfect aim. That night was the best dinner I'd ever had. Not because of the food or it was overcooked, but because of the silence that followed. Every bite of awkward tension tasted like sweet revenge. After that night, things escalated quickly. Lisa and I got closer, and for the first time, I didn't feel like someone's leftover. We understood each other in a way only two people burned by the same fire could. Then one day over breakfast, she joked, "You know, we should get married. Really mess with their heads." We both laughed, and then went quiet, because suddenly it didn't sound like a joke anymore. We sat there for a long minute, two people halfway between sarcasm and sincerity, staring at each other like we'd just said something insane and perfectly reasonable at the same time. "Marry me," I finally said, grinning. "Let's turn family dinners into psychological warfare." Lisa laughed so hard she nearly choked on her coffee. "Oh, come on, Daniel. People marry for love, not revenge." "Who says we can't have both?" She tilted her head, smirking. "You think your brother would lose sleep over it?" "Sleep? He'll lose appetite, peace of mind, and probably his hair." That's when she said it, that one line that sealed our fate. "Well then, Daniel, let's give the family something to talk about." It wasn't supposed to be serious, but a few weeks later, I found myself standing next to her at the courthouse. Both of us dressed like we were going to a business meeting rather than a wedding. No fancy ceremony, no cake, just two witnesses, one nervous clerk, and me trying to suppress a grin that could light up the room. When the judge said, "You may kiss the bride," Lisa whispered, "Think he can hear Tom's scream from here?" I said, "Let's make it louder." We kissed, and in that moment I swear I could hear the faint echo of karmic thunder rolling somewhere in the universe. The first call came 3 hours later. It was my mother. "Daniel, what have you done?" "Got married," I said cheerfully. "To whom?" "To Lisa." There was silence, the kind that comes right before an explosion. Then, "Lisa?" As in Tom's Lisa? "Not his anymore," I corrected. "She's Mrs. Daniel now." I could practically hear her faint. By evening, the news had spread faster than a family WhatsApp rumor. My phone turned into a war zone of messages, some supportive, most confused. My uncle texted, "Proud of you, son." That's what I call recycling. Tom didn't call. He didn't need to. His reaction came the next day. A 3-paragraph Facebook post about betrayal and family disloyalty. I didn't even read it all. The first line said, "Some people will do anything for attention." Lisa commented under it, "You mean like stealing your brother's wife?" And that was the day our marriage officially went viral. Not because of romance, but because of poetic revenge. Now here's the twist. What started as a petty payback turned out amazing. Lisa and I fit, not just in humor or bitterness, in everything. We cooked together, laughed at stupid things, fought over movie choices, made fun of our exes, and somehow built something real out of the wreckage. But of course, life wasn't going to let us enjoy it quietly. A month later, Mom called again. We're having a family dinner. Everyone's coming, including Tom and Clara. And before you say no, I'm not asking, you're coming. Lisa looked at me. So, round two? Oh, it's not dinner, I said. It's closure. In 4K. When we arrived, the tension was so thick you could butter it. My mom had set the table like she was hosting a peace treaty. Tom sat across from me, arms folded. Clara avoided eye contact like she was allergic to consequences. Dinner began with small talk, the kind that sounds polite but smells like judgment. My mom tried to act normal. So, Daniel, how's married life treating you? Fantastic, I said. Lisa and I just finished decorating the house. You should see the living room. It's painted in second chances, Lisa added, and the bedroom's done in shades of regret. Clara coughed. Tom glared. I smiled. Halfway through dinner, Tom snapped. You really think this is funny, don't you? Oh, absolutely, I said. It's hilarious. You married my wife. I married yours. We practically swapped Netflix accounts. Daniel, you're ridiculous, Clara blurted out. Lisa leaned forward. Oh, sweetheart, ridiculous is leaving your husband for his brother and then acting surprised when Karma shows up wearing lipstick. Even my mom tried to hide a smile behind her wine glass. Tom slammed his fork down. You can't build happiness out of revenge? I shrugged. Maybe not. But we can sure build a patio silence. Glorious, awkward, history-making silence. Then my father, who had been watching the entire scene like a live sitcom, finally spoke. You know, this might be the most entertaining family dinner we've ever had. Who's bringing dessert? We all laughed. Even Clara cracked a nervous giggle. And that was the moment I realized the pain, the anger, the humiliation. It was gone. The laughter burned it all away. After dinner, as Lisa and I left, Tom called out, You think this makes you better than me? I turned around. No, Tom. Just happier. We drove home in silence at first. Then Lisa looked at me with that half smile. You think we're crazy? Oh, absolutely, I said. But at least we're crazy together. She took my hand. I didn't marry you to get back at him, you know. I know, I said softly. But admit it, the revenge was a nice bonus. She laughed. A very nice bonus. Months passed. Our lives fell into this comfortable rhythm that didn't feel like a rebound anymore. We were good together. Stable, funny, understanding. The kind of partnership built not from desperation, but from clarity. We'd both seen what betrayal looked like, and we'd learned what not to be. Then one afternoon, we ran into Tom and Clara at the grocery store. Because, of course, fate loves a sequel. Lisa spotted them first. Incoming drama in aisle 3, she whispered. They approached. Tom looked uncomfortable. Clara smiled awkwardly. Tom cleared his throat. Daniel, Lisa, you two seem good. I smiled. We are. You, he hesitated. We're working on things. Lisa leaned on the cart. Ah, yes, the classic pretending everything's fine stage. I remember that. Fun times, Clara looked down. Tom muttered something about good seeing you and walked away. As they left, Lisa whispered, He still can't look me in the eye. Don't worry, I said. He'll have plenty of practice when he sees the baby shower invite. Her eyes widened. You're not serious. Oh, I am. We're going big. Balloons, cake, and the invitation list includes everyone named Tom just to make it confusing. She laughed so hard people stared. And right there, between frozen peas and cereal boxes, I realized I wasn't just over my ex. I was grateful. Because if she hadn't betrayed me, I never would have met the person who actually got me, who matched my madness, my humor, my scars. Love didn't just come back. It came back with better taste. Fast forward a year, our wedding anniversary. We threw a small party. Friends, family, laughter. Even Mom finally admitted, you two might actually be perfect for each other in the weirdest way possible. Lisa raised her glass. To the mess that led to magic, I added, and to karma, the best wedding planner we never hired. Everyone laughed, glasses clinked, music played. Somewhere in the back of my mind, I thought about Tom and Clara. Not with bitterness, not with regret, but with pure amusement. Sometimes revenge doesn't come from rage. It comes from healing so well that your happiness becomes the punchline. And that's exactly what we were. A perfect, poetic, slightly chaotic punchline. Later that night, Lisa turned to me and said, "So, Mr. Daniel, do you ever regret it?" I smiled. "Only that I didn't send them a thank you card." She grinned. "What would it say?" I thought for a moment. "Dear Tom and Clara, thank you for leaving. You made room for something real and hilarious." She kissed me. Perfect. And just before we turned out the lights, she added with a grin, "Oh, and Daniel, let's renew our vows next year." "Why?" I asked. "So we can invite them again." "So we can invite them again." We both laughed until our sides hurt. And that was the night I realized something simple yet beautiful. Sometimes revenge isn't cold or cruel. Sometimes it's warm, funny, and wearing matching pajamas. Because life has a strange sense of humor. My wife ran off with my brother, so I married his ex. And honestly, best decision I ever made.